Hello, my name is Ransom For, and I'm a master's student in educational technology at Azusa Pacific University. Today's presentation is going to be on password and Wi-Fi safety. First of all, let's look at what a password is. According to dictionary.com, a password is a secret word or expression used by authorized persons to prove their right to access or information. Now let's look at some tips for using or creating passwords. The first one is you need to protect your password. It is personal. You do not want to share your password on any social media platform or even a friend. It is a privacy. The second one you want to look at is the security questions that you usually answer when creating your password. You need to keep them in a secret place. They will help you to recover your password should in case you lose them. You don't want to disclose any information while creating your password. You don't want to include a name or a date of birth into your password. That can easily be guessed. While creating your password, it is very important for you to mix the password with letters, non-alphabetic symbols, or if possible numbers. The more mixture you have, the stronger the password. You need to use a personal acronym, something that is unique while creating your password. You do not want to use something that is very common. You need to be creative. It is very important that you change your password often. It is not good to use one password for a prolonged period of time. Never send your password to others, especially through text messages. Remember, text messages, the records can always be kept for a long time, and that can be used against you. Do not post your password. Sometimes some people have the habit of posting your password on their monitors at home or on the wall. That is very, very risky because it is exposed to the public. You don't want to get into that habit. Now you need to be very careful while signing in into devices that you do not trust or have full control over, such as a computer in a public place or your friend's phone and so on. You do not want to sign in into such devices because when you enter your password, usually there is a possibility or a chance that this password can be saved into those devices. The last but not the least, this particular tip applies to people who have several online accounts. If you have several online accounts, it is very important for you to use different passwords on those accounts. This is because if your password is hacked and you used it in 10 accounts, for example, it means the hacker will have access to all those 10 accounts, which is very detrimental to you. Now let's talk about Wi-Fi. First of all, what is a Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi is an acronym for wireless fidelity, and it refers to a wireless network for computers that use radio frequency radiation for communication, just like cell phones. Now, I do have some tips for using Wi-Fi. And the first one applies to public Wi-Fi, which is you need to think before you connect. Most often when we go to public places, this public network pops on our phone and prompts us to connect to this public network. It is very important that you think of the safety of the network before you connect. The second one is it is important for you to use the mobile network wireless hotspot. So our phones sometimes have some gigabytes of mobile wireless hotspot. So if we have that option, it is preferable or advisable for us to use those gigabytes to connect to our personal computers rather than using public networks. Avoid conducting sensitive activities through public networks. So if I sign into a public network, I do not want to be doing some activities like signing into personal account like bank account. It is highly discouraged. It is important that we update the softwares of our computers or personal devices regularly to keep them up to date. If we have personal Wi-Fis, it is strongly encouraged that the tips for creating a password, we do apply it here for creating the password for our personal Wi-Fi. The stronger the password, the safer we make the network to be. Also, auto-connect features are strongly discouraged. Usually we get into the attitude of saving the information of a public network or a personal network so that we can easily reconnect to them. But usually this habit is not a good one because it stores our information and our IP address and so on. So when it is hacked, hackers can usually have access to this information. And now when we sign into website, it is important that we think of the safety of this website. We need to think about whether this website that we are trying to access are encrypted. And everything is all about the safety. These are just tips, but it is important that you use your best judgment before you sign into any website. Everything is about the safety, so use your best judgment and your knowledge. Thank you for your kind attention.